Elegant entryway and front yard garden ideas with arches and gates, simple small space design. Welcome to a vision of home design where simplicity meets elegance, and where the entryway becomes more than a passage but a statement of style and personality. Imagine arriving at a residence where the first glance does not overwhelm with grandeur, but rather whispers of thoughtfulness, balance, and timeless beauty. The entryway of a home has always been a transitional space, a bridge between the outside world and the intimate interior. Yet in today's architectural language, this space has evolved into an expression of identity. It sets the tone, establishes the mood, and defines the first chapter of the story a house wants to tell. In contemporary living, small front yards are increasingly common, especially in urban neighborhoods and modern housing developments. While limited square footage might seem restrictive, design innovation has transformed these compact plots into canvases of creativity. A well-designed entryway can transform even the humblest space into a destination. It is no longer about size, it is about intention. It is about choosing the right elements that bring warmth, structure, and character while maintaining an atmosphere of elegance. One of the most compelling design features for such spaces is the arch. An arch carries a kind of poetry that straight lines cannot replicate. It introduces a rhythm, a softness, and a sense of arrival. Whether covered in cascading ivy, fragrant jasmine, or delicate roses, an arch becomes both a frame and a destination, guiding visitors effortlessly toward the front door. Its height introduces dimension, making a small yard feel larger and more dynamic. Beyond its romance, the arch serves a structural role, lending order and focus to the garden's composition. In minimalist adaptations, the arch is stripped down to its essence, perhaps crafted from slender black steel or pale wood, creating a striking contrast of modernity and tradition. Pairing an arch with a gate elevates the sense of entry even further. A gate is both symbolic and practical. It marks the threshold of privacy while offering a warm invitation. The style of gate dictates mood. A wrought iron gate with delicate scrollwork whispers of European charm. A bamboo gate hints at serenity and natural balance. A simple white wooden gate, flanked by a flowering arch, conjures images of a quaint cottage garden, while a sleek, matte black gate with geometric precision feels utterly contemporary. In each case, the gate is not a barrier, but a gesture, an embrace at the edge of the property that says, "Welcome, you are entering a place of intention and care." The pathway leading from gate to door is another essential layer. In small yards, a path defines direction, creating rhythm and movement. Natural stone slabs, gravel softened with ground cover, or reclaimed wooden planks offer not just functionality but narrative. Each material speaks differently. Stone grounds the design and permanence, gravel creates texture and sound, while wood introduces warmth and sustainability. Lighting along this path turns it into an experience. Imagine solar-powered lanterns casting a gentle glow, recessed lights guiding each step, or overhead string lights creating a canopy of illumination. At night, the entryway transforms, becoming not just a route, but an enchanting scene of safety and elegance. The role of plants cannot be overstated. In small yards, every leaf, every bloom, every texture contributes to the composition. Climbing vines, such as honeysuckle or wisteria, bring fragrance and seasonality. Evergreen shrubs anchor the space with structure year-round. For those who prefer low-maintenance design, ornamental grasses sway with the wind, or succulents line the edges with sculptural clarity. Texture mixing is key. Soft foliage against crystone borders, tall slender grasses beside compact shrubs, delicate blooms weaving through the framework of an arch. Together, they create harmony and vibrancy in limited square footage. Yet design is not only about materials and forms, it is about personality. A front yard is the face of the home, a reflection of its residents. Through custom details, homeowners inject individuality. Gate hardware with artistic flair, arches designed with cultural references, or planters styled as sculptural art. All of these transform the ordinary into the memorable. The choice between minimalism and romance is deeply personal. Clean lines, monochromatic greenery, and understated gates suggest sophistication and restraint. Curved arches, rustic finishes, and vibrant florals tell a story of warmth, passion, and nostalgia. The beauty lies in the balance, ensuring that every element feels intentional, cohesive, and true to the vision of the home. Sustainability is another defining thread in modern entryway design. As homeowners seek to align lifestyle with environmental responsibility, eco-friendly practices integrate seamlessly. Reclaimed wood gates extend the story of past lives into the present. Solar-powered lighting reduces dependency while adding innovation. Rainwater collection systems for irrigation quietly support the garden's health while reducing waste. The result is more than a beautiful yard. It is a philosophy, a demonstration of mindful living where design and responsibility coexist in harmony. Ultimately, what makes a small entryway extraordinary is not the abundance of space, but the richness of details. Each choice, from arch to gate, from plant to path, adds to a narrative of welcome and identity. Visitors may only spend moments passing through, but the impression lingers. The entryway becomes not just a boundary, but a memory, a gentle reminder that elegance resides in simplicity and that every square foot has the potential to inspire. This is the essence of modern entryway design, a place where the everyday act of coming home becomes an experience of beauty, comfort, and style. It demonstrates that even the smallest yards, when shaped with creativity and care, can stand shoulder to shoulder with grand estates in terms of impact. A home begins at its threshold, and with thoughtful design, that threshold becomes timeless. As we continue exploring the artistry of entryway design, it is essential to look beyond the first impression and examine how these spaces evolve with current trends while anticipating the future of residential aesthetics. The entryway is not a static element. It changes with cultural movements, lifestyle shifts, and advancements in design technology. Today, we see a growing demand for entryways that are not only beautiful, but also functional, sustainable, and emotionally resonant. They are increasingly viewed as transitional sanctuaries, zones that soften the shift from the public world into the intimacy of the home. One of the most striking trends shaping modern entryway design is the integration of biophilic principles. Biophilic design seeks to reconnect people with nature through architecture and landscaping, fostering well-being and comfort. In small front yards, this translates into lush vertical gardens, living walls flanking gates, or pathways edged with diverse plant species chosen for seasonal variation. Arches draped in greenery become more than decoration. They transform into living sculptures that change throughout the year, mirroring the cycles of nature. This constant evolution ensures that the entryway feels alive, dynamic, and deeply connected to its environment. Minimalism also continues to exert influence, though it has matured into a softer, warmer expression. Clean lines and uncluttered spaces remain central, but designers now pair minimal frameworks with organic textures and natural finishes. A sleek metal arch may be softened with climbing jasmine, while a crisp concrete pathway gains warmth through wooden borders or native plants. This balance creates an entryway that is streamlined yet approachable, refined yet inviting. It reflects a larger cultural desire for simplicity that does not feel cold, but instead resonates with authenticity. Technology is another layer reshaping entryway design. Smart lighting systems that adjust brightness based on natural light or motion, gates equipped with discrete security cameras, and even climate-responsive materials are finding their place in residential landscapes. These innovations allow homeowners to merge convenience with elegance. Imagine walking up to your home at dusk and watching the pathway illuminate softly, guiding your steps, while the garden arch glows subtly in the background. The blend of technology and design ensures that practicality never overshadows beauty. Instead, it heightens the experience of arrival. The sustainability movement, meanwhile, continues to grow stronger, influencing choices at every scale. Eco-conscious homeowners increasingly favor native plants that require minimal irrigation, permeable paving systems that reduce runoff, and reclaimed or recycled materials that add depth and character to gates and pathways. This shift is not only environmentally responsible, but also aesthetically enriching. A gate crafted from weathered wood tells a story. A stone path laid with salvaged materials carries history into the present. These choices create layers of meaning, grounding the home in a narrative of respect for resources and connection to place. Cultural diversity also plays a key role in defining modern entryway aesthetics. In today's globalized world, design does not belong to one tradition, but borrows and blends influences across continents. A Mediterranean-style arch entwined with bougainvillea may stand proudly beside a Japanese-inspired bamboo gate. A gravel path lined with lavender evokes European gardens, while sculptural succulents introduce desert modernism. This fusion allows homeowners to express individuality and heritage through their entryway, transforming it into a tapestry of cultural references. The result is eclectic yet harmonious, reflecting the pluralism of modern life. The emotional dimension of entryways is equally significant. Designers are paying greater attention to the sensory experience of arrival. Fragrance becomes a design element, with plantings of rosemary, lavender, or night-blooming jasmine greeting visitors through scent. Texture invites touch, whether in the smooth grain of wooden gates or the softness of moss between stepping stones. Sound, too, plays a role. The gentle crunch of gravel, the rustle of ornamental grasses, or the trickle of a small water feature create an atmosphere of calm and serenity. Together, these details elevate the entryway from a mere functional zone to a multi-sensory retreat that nurtures the spirit. Lighting deserves deeper exploration, as it has evolved into an art form in its own right. Beyond functionality, it shapes mood, highlights architectural features, and enhances safety. In small yards, careful lighting design makes a profound impact. Spotlights can dramatize the structure of an arch, uplights can accentuate the texture of trees, and soft ambient fixtures can create an intimate glow that envelops the entire entryway. With the rise of solar technology and energy-efficient LEDs, lighting now aligns seamlessly with both sustainability and style. The interplay of shadow and light transforms an ordinary path into a cinematic experience. Looking toward the future, adaptability emerges as a defining theme. Entryways are no longer static compositions, but living systems designed to adjust and grow with changing needs. Modular arches that can support different plants through the seasons, gates that can be reconfigured for privacy or openness, and pathways designed with flexible layouts all point to a future where design evolves with lifestyle. As families grow, as climate patterns shift, as aesthetic preferences change, the entryway adapts, remaining timeless in concept but fluid in execution. Another exciting direction is the blending of art and architecture. Entryways are increasingly treated as outdoor galleries where sculptural elements, custom installations, or even interactive features enrich the space. A gate might double as a piece of contemporary sculpture, or an arch could incorporate artistic metalwork that tells a story. These touches elevate the entryway into an experience of culture as well as design, transforming it from a transitional space into a destination. In the end, the entryway is more than a front yard feature. It is a reflection of broader trends and philosophies shaping how we live. It embodies the desire for connection with nature, the pursuit of sustainability, the embrace of cultural diversity, and the integration of technology. It is where practicality meets artistry, where boundaries become invitations, and where the first step into a home is both functional and poetic. As trends continue to evolve, one truth remains constant. The entryway holds the power to define not just the look of a house, but the spirit of a home. As we arrive at the final perspective on elegant entryway and front yard garden design, it is important to reflect on the deeper meaning these spaces carry, not only in terms of style and architecture, but also in the way they shape human experience. The entryway is not a decorative afterthought. It is the emotional threshold between public and private life, a place where the rhythm of the outside world slows and the warmth of home begins. In small yards, where every detail carries amplified significance, design becomes less about extravagance and more about storytelling. The future of entryway design lies in this balance of narrative, function, and aesthetics. A critical element in crafting these narratives is the seamless integration of architecture and landscape. No longer are these two disciplines separate. Instead, They converge to create a cohesive identity. An arch becomes an architectural frame that carries the softness of nature through climbing vines. A gate functions as both sculptural art and a structural anchor. Pathways are designed not simply to connect door to street, but to choreograph movement, slowing the pace and allowing moments of pause. This holistic approach turns small front yards into immersive experiences where the transition into the home feels deliberate, elegant, and personal. One of the strongest directions for the future is personalization through craftsmanship. As mass-produced elements dominate urban environments, handcrafted details reclaim value. A gate forged by a local artisan, planters shaped with traditional techniques, or custom-designed arches tailored to the proportions of the house create entryways that cannot be replicated. These bespoke touches infuse authenticity, reminding us that design is not only about trends, but also about human connection and cultural memory. Sustainability, too, continues to extend its influence, evolving beyond material choice into long-term resilience. Tomorrow's entryways are designed to withstand shifting climates while nurturing ecosystems. Native plants support pollinators, permeable paths protect groundwater, and rain gardens manage stormwater naturally. Even in the smallest spaces, these systems demonstrate a commitment to ecological stewardship. In this way, the front yard becomes a microcosm of environmental responsibility, a daily reminder that beauty and sustainability can coexist in harmony. The psychology of space adds another layer of importance. Entryways influence not just how others perceive the home, but also how residents feel as they return each day. A thoughtfully designed path lined with greenery can reduce stress before one even reaches the front door. A gate softened with blooms or framed by sculptural foliage provides a sense of welcome that transcends aesthetics. It fosters belonging. These emotional undercurrents reveal why design matters. It shapes the quality of everyday life. As society places greater emphasis on wellness, entryways will increasingly reflect principles of restorative design. Aromatic plants chosen for their calming effects, materials selected for tactile comfort, and lighting arranged to support circadian rhythms all contribute to healthier living environments. The act of arriving home becomes a ritual of restoration, where architecture and nature collaborate to nurture body and mind. Cultural storytelling also promises to shape future trends. Entryways are uniquely positioned to carry heritage and identity outward, where they meet the community. An arch inspired by classical European design, a gate echoing Asian minimalism, or a path laid in traditional geometric patterns can speak volumes about a family's history, values, or aspirations. The blending of global influences ensures that each entryway remains both personal and universal, a dialogue between past traditions and modern aspirations. Another horizon is the integration of digital design tools into the planning process. Homeowners and designers increasingly use virtual reality, 3D modeling, and AI-assisted visualization to experiment with different ideas before committing to construction. These tools democratize design, allowing people to test how a certain arch, gate, or planting scheme will look in their unique space. The result is more informed choices, more imaginative solutions, and ultimately, more successful designs that feel tailored to the individual. At night, the entryway transforms into something almost theatrical, and this transformation highlights the future role of lighting as art. Designers are now treating illumination as choreography, using it to create layers of drama, intimacy, and rhythm. Arches might glow with hidden uplights, pathways might sparkle with subtle embedded fixtures, and gates might cast intricate shadows on walls and plants. The interplay of light and darkness ensures that the entryway is as captivating in the evening as it is in the day, extending its function into a 24-hour experience. Finally, the enduring truth is that entryways, no matter how large or small, embody the philosophy of hospitality. They set the stage for every encounter, shaping how visitors are received and how residents reconnect with their own space. The future promises ever greater sophistication in design, but the essence will remain the same. The entryway as a symbol of welcome, care, and identity. With arches that frame, gates that invite, plants that enchant, and paths that guide, these spaces remind us that elegance is not measured in size, but in intention. In conclusion, The art of creating simple yet elegant entryways and front yard gardens is both timeless and forward-looking. It celebrates the charm of arches, the intimacy of gates, the poetry of pathways, and the vitality of plants. It embraces sustainability, technology, and cultural diversity, weaving them into cohesive experiences that elevate everyday life. As trends evolve and new possibilities emerge, the entryway will continue to reflect the core values of design: beauty, functionality, and meaning. It will remain the threshold, not just to a house, but to a way of living, an elegant introduction to the story of home.